What up, Brohams? Welcome back to the Broham Nation. This is Colonel Twerkins, and today I'll be giving you my EFT Beta Beginner's Guide. Let's go. Welcome to your handy-dandy guide to EFT Beta for Beginners. I'd like to say that this guide is in no way definitive, being that this will be for the beta, as well as the fact that some things are left up to you for discovery. I don't want to give every single step or show you every single crate, etc., tell you about every single med kit or every single key. Those are things that you can learn either through the forums or just by discovering it. But I'll try to update as we go along. This will be kind of a long video, and the different segments will be marked in the description. Escape from Tarkov is not a hardcore game, it's an ultracore game. The devs have labeled it an FPS, mmorpg milsim with survival elements, and wildly enough, it fits all of these genres. You will face off against the opposing factions U.S.E.C, or United Security, B.E.A.R, or Battle Encounter Assault Regiment, and Scavengers, or Scavs for short. Scavs are the NPCs in the game, and you can also choose to play as one, but more on that later. Scavs are very vicious and getting smarter as time goes on. They are not to be underestimated. One of the unique features in EFT is permadeath. If you die, you are out of the raid and lose all gear that you brought in. You may only keep what you placed in your secured container. Insurance is also available for in-game currency. The devs have stated that there are no microtransactions and there will be none. Please note that during the testing phases, your profile may be reset multiple times for this reason. The goal in Escape from Tarkov is to escape the city. Tarkov has seen major conflict from 2010 to 2015 during the contract wars, which took place between the PMCs on behalf of their employers. Now, you're going to move through 10 different locations. Each of the 10 raids or maps will be online session-based, story-driven walkthroughs, and each one harder than the next. Upon completion, you have access to free roam mode. Free roam will be 16 square kilometers for up to 64 players. All of the borders from the maps will be removed, allowing you to traverse from location to location with no loading screens. In the test build, you can group 4 to 5 squad mates depending on the map. You can run solo, but I wouldn't advise that for new players. Finding players can be as easy as meeting people on the lobby chat, the forums, or the many clans on the forum. The clan I belong to is called TAW, the Art of Warfare. You can apply at taw.net if you choose. I would like to mention again that this is a test build. This is important for you to understand. You will encounter bugs and glitches, so please help out the devs by reporting what you find. You can press print screen to take screenshots, which can be found in your documents folder in the Escape from Tarkov folder. Always make sure to hit up the forums first to see if your issue has not already been mentioned. If you cannot find it there, then submit a ticket to the support department. Make sure to include game and/or crash logs, pics, unlisted video if needed, and steps to replicate the bug. As with all forums, there are the rules set by Battlestate Games. Please read them and be mindful of them. Only open threads after researching for existing topics, and stick to testing or really good suggestions that fall in line with the direction of the game. The story mode has not been implemented yet, as well as other features, due to the nature of this particular test. We've seen lots of things in the videos and some even in early patches, but this test is for core features, mechanics, servers, client, and graphical errors. I am making all this known to you so that you do not get the wrong impression of what the game will be or make comparisons to other games based on what you see at the moment. Here are your character and inventory management screens. To your right is your stash. Everything here will not be lost if you die in the game, and neither will your skill leveling. There are filter tabs for the various item categories such as meds, magazines, armor, and so on. To manage your inventory, you may have to rotate objects to do this. Just click, hold the object, and press R. Easy, right? Your stash is based on the bonus package you purchased. I have a press account, so you may see things here and in future videos that are not in your stash. Please be aware that the current contents of your stash upon activation of your account or upon reset or wipe is not reflective of what you will get in the end game. There are going to be other items that have not been given to us yet, so just be patient for that and don't feel like you're being left out of something. Okay, so on the left is your character management screen. Section 1 of the character body currently has slots for headset, goggles, helmet, armor, and on the sling, primary, and on the back, secondary, primary, secondary pistol in its own slot, and scabbard to hold knives and or axes like the Gerber downrange tomahawk, available with those who purchased the Edge of Darkness package. Section 2 has chest rig, pockets, backpack, and pouch. When preparing for a raid, you will need to drag these items to the slot they belong, or right click and equip. For guns, they usually have a mag and there is a count. For example, 8 of 8 for the PM and 30 of 30 for a standard AK mag. But when reloading, or for a count of 0 of X amount of rounds, you right click the gun and choose unload to eject the mag. Then drag the appropriate ammo to the mag and drag the mag to the gun. This means you can mix up rounds in one mag. You just hold Control, click on a stack of rounds, drag, choose the amount you want separated, and drag to the mag. Mags are 1 to 3 slots in size, so you can only fit them where there is room. Slot size is important. For example, you cannot fit a shotgun into a 2x2 secure container or an MBSS backpack. Welcome to Tetris EFT Edition. The pouch is for your secured container, so be careful not to discard this item. If you do by accident during the test, just reset your profile. Please note that in release version, you will lose it permanently if you discard it. The secure container has different sizes and can be acquired in-game through lots of game currency and quests and tasks. The secure container will be storage for items found in the raid that you do not want to lose. Up top are the tabs labeled Overall, which is your stats and leveling. Next is the current tab, Gear, then Health. Health is defined by the bars you see here and the hydration, energy, blood pressure, radiation, and body temperature. There are different types of medkits in the game, like the orange one in my pouch called Grizzly. You can right click on them and click Use to begin healing. This will spread over all the bars, but you can also drag them onto the bars individually and they will put all the health points into that particular area. You can bleed out, obtain fractures, contusions, pain, and even a dead leg. Dead legs will cause you to slow down severely and limp. This can be temporarily bypassed with morphine and painkillers. If you can catch your leg health before it hits 0, a splint will allow you to walk on it without the need for pain management. But if you are bleeding out, a bandage should be applied first. Different meds have different healing capabilities. As with any item in the game, you can right click and inspect to view the abilities of each item. Skills will become a very important component to build your playstyle. Whether you prefer stealthy methods, aggressive, run and gun, or a hybrid, the skills in EFT are abundant and varied enough to suit any dynamic playstyle. Leveling your skills is all action-based. By performing the actions regularly, you will level up and obtain the buffs needed. But if you do not perform these actions for an extended period of time, your level of proficiency will drop quickly. But there is a difference between you and a fresh player. The fresh player will need to start from absolute 0, while all you need to do is start performing those actions regularly again, and you will excel faster. By hovering over the avatars and icons in each skill, you will both see the benefits and buffs received. On the Skills tab is another section called Mastering. Mastering is based on the way in which you use and care for your weapons. At this time, the full feature set is not implemented. Upon implementation, mastery will be based on ammo consumption, weapon repair, and actions like checking your chamber, and possibly mods like types of mags and charging handles, etc. While other games have similar systems, EFT has painstakingly created effects and animations that will be granted as your mastery grows. This will include things like efficient reloads, ammo count, and weapon malfunctions such as stovepipes, etc. Maps are the first thing you need to learn, and this should be your first step. Go into an offline map to take a good look around to get your bearings. I suggest going in without PvE to take your time. And don't take any gear with you, as this will make you light as a feather to run faster when you need to. While exploring, use your map to make markings on the available maps. You can purchase 2 maps at the moment from Therapist, the Factory, and Customs map. As you upgrade the Therapist, other maps will become available to you. Also, you can use the maps in the written portion of this guide, or some that you find off the forums. It's totally up to you. It would be useful to get well acquainted with the spawns, loot locations, scav patrol areas, and the food and med locations of each map. When in offline mode, you will not lose any gear if you decide to try some out offline, even offline with bots. Offline mode will be removed sometime before release. To leave the map without extracting, simply hit escape and confirm that you want to leave. Quick note. Food, water, and meds will be of some importance in the release. Make sure to always check your hydration because it can sneak up on you if you don't. A critical wound to the stomach, for instance, will cause your hydration level to drop by up to 5 points at a time. If you do forget, you will start to cough, wheeze, and see veins in your eyes before eventually passing out. Now that you've done some exploring, it's time for your first raid with real live players. Since this will be your first match, do not go in too heavy. A grotch, PM, AI2, bandage, spare mags, and maybe grenades for fun. Don't worry about a bag, this is just a trial by fire. You can bring drinks if you want in your secure container, but you may find them in raid, so it's your choice. Note: one of the main things you're about to do is get over the fear and panic that comes with playing Escape from Tarkov. Trust me, you're gonna feel it, and it will only feel good 5 minutes after you die. You must remain in control of your faculties, man. After this first run, you should try getting a group together. You will need to start working on callouts and tactics. Choice of raid is all about preference. Factory is faster paced, while Customs is a hybrid. Woods is the long game. Setting up ambushes and sniping are fun on this map. Since this is not the core game, your objective will be testing, looting, and maybe some fun. As I mentioned earlier, you have the option to play as an AI character. You will spawn in with a random gear set, and in release you can also spawn with a random health condition such as a broken leg. The purpose of this mode is to pose a threat and trouble to PMCs and to get out with loot without losing any of your own gear. You can only keep this loot if you make it to the extraction alive. The extraction for Scavs is the same for PMCs. One thing to understand about Escape from Tarkov is that there is no such thing as loyalty or rules. You can spawn in and kill all the AI Scav and Scav players without consequence at the moment. There will be a form of karma system for Scavs that may transfer over to your main character. This will be to cut off some of the team killing, but you have the choice to remain an outlaw. You will lose reputation with the traders, and some random things will happen like gun jams. But hey, you can always get gear in auctions and flea markets when it's implemented. If you do choose to kill a Scav, and other Scavs see this or hear it, they will turn on you, so be careful. Here's a full list of the controls. Some are not implemented yet. I also have a video with the basics if you'd like to watch ahead of time, and I'll link you to it. Thanks to Quahamat, a community member, for this compiled list. Don't rush every raid. Rushing works for a lot of FPS games, and by all means, you may have to rush in some cases, but with experience, you'll get better at deciding when this is. But patience will pay dividends most often. You will make noise that has a realistic sound distance, so use caps lock and or scroll the middle mouse button to slow down your movement when you need to. Use cover whenever possible. Soft cover is better than no cover. but hardcover is always preferred. Know your map. Knowing the lay of the land and all your callouts will allow you to effectively communicate your position. Your team will need to have this down solid. Many a team kill has happened because teammates did not know how to communicate their 20. This is one of the leading causes of death in the first 5 to 10 minutes of a raid. Armbands are planned sometime between beta and release, but you would be surprised what people miss when they are panicked. Comms. Escape from Tarkov is not a casual game. Now let that sink in. You are going to get wrecked and lose a lot of loot and teammates if you don't learn how to relay information in a concise way. Using military designations such as Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie with numbers works well, but you can use whatever you like. You can also refer to yourself in third person, because unless your team knows your voice, you are taking a risk. Often, you will find yourself double checking whether someone near you is a squad mate or not. If someone asks, "Who is over here near the green farmhouse, all black AKM with the hexagon, and this is not you," say negative. Otherwise, you are risking a squad mate's life for lack of communication. The jump check, for example, is an easy way to see if someone is a squad mate. But just keep in mind, even moving from one side of the factory map to the other should be made clear. In the end, good comms make good raids. Okay, on to health. I mentioned taking cover earlier, but another thing you should remember when taking cover is to heal. Always bring meds and painkillers and morphine. If you can, especially when leading new players, try to bring extra. It will be greatly appreciated. If you play as Scav, meds won't always spawn on you, so keep your beady eyes peeled for health items. In the release, you will not only spawn with a random Scav gear set, but a random health condition as well. Meds will be even more important for you. Alright, let's wrap it up with AI. Scavs can be very scary and intimidating. As with any enemy, it will be best for you to observe them for their patterns and tactics. Scavs can retreat, throw grenades, peek corners, group up, and even flank you. They often give away their position with their crazy phrases and laughter. Before you get the idea that Scavs are too OP, again, pay attention to their tactics. Scavs will often give you time to advance to the next bit of cover, so take advantage of that. They are limited in the ammo they carry on them, except for the shotgun Scavs, so be ready to push them when they have to reload. You can tell the difference between Scavs and PMCs by their different clothing. Scavs will wear cashmere sweaters with white gloves, jackets with or without the hoodie, and jeans. They will also be dead giveaways with fingerless gloves and bloody bandages wrapped around their forearms. Okay, Brohams, that about does it. I will leave the rest up to you. This is something just to get you started with the important notes of the game/test. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section below. My question for you is, what scared you the most in your first match? Let me know below.